couple of crab nesters go on that corner over there.
Just saying, maybe they'll get bigger. Yeah. The opposite of that may be true too. Maybe they'll get smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, the bigger is gonna get less. Oh, never know. I mean, turns on the dime sometimes.
All right, guys, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but we're about to try our hand at catching a couple crabs here. Came this morning, caught our shrimp, 25 pounds. Wasn't much crab action where we caught the shrimp, so we came to this other location here, and we're gonna see if we can't catch a few crabs. What we got today is a 24-inch dip net. It's set up with a little hook at the bottom, like so. Hopefully that shows up on the camera there. Small weight. We got chicken leg quarters. Sometimes we'll bait them with fish. It just depends on what the crabs are looking for on that certain day. So we're gonna cut that. Bait us up with a little thigh here. And just like that. So we'll hang it off the side, we'll tie it up. And then when the crabs crawl in, it's usually sitting on the ground like so, the crabs will crawl in. They'll start eating on the chicken. I'll pull it up, and then they're caught. And then we'll collect the ones we want to keep, throw back the ones we don't. It's just that simple. Alright guys, the tide's about to change, the wind's fighting the tide, fish just aren't biting. We're going to call it a day. We got about a dozen and a half of crabs, 25 pounds of shrimp. Go home, cook that up, see what we can make. Let's go. here we are back home. Got 25 pounds of shrimp, 12, 15 crabs or so. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna dehead the shrimp, get them ready for the freezer. But before I do that, I'm gonna take out a few pounds, probably about 2 or so. Add that to the stew tonight. Recipe will be at the end of this video, also with a little cooking demonstration. So just a little bowl here. You know, these shrimp were swimming just a few hours ago, so can't get any fresher than this. I like a lot of shrimp in my stew, so I'm gonna take a good bit, may even be 3 pounds. We don't need any big ones in there, so stuff like that we're gonna save, try to make a fry out of it, see if we got enough of them. The shrimp today were a good medium small, perfect for a stew, gumbo, pretty much anything like that. You could fry the small ones, make some popcorn shrimp maybe, but this is a good medium, probably a 30 count, meaning 30 shrimp to a pound. They got a few that are a little bit bigger, but that's about average. Took about hour and a half, 2 hours to catch 25 pounds, which is pretty quick. I'm gonna sit here, dehead them. I like to put mine in containers, and then I fill them to the top with filtered water. I find that if I filter the water, they just keep a lot better and they just taste fresher. But we'll go through that when it's time to prepare them to put them in the freezer. But for right now, we're just gonna dehead them. Put these in the house. I'm gonna peel these, devein them, save the heads and the shells, make us a little stock, cook us a good shrimp stew, add some eggs in that, maybe a little potato salad on the side. Just depends on how much time I have before it's time to eat. Alright, so what I'm doing here is throwing the heads in the orange bucket and the tails in the little square container there with the shell still on. It's a tedious process, but sure is nice to have fresh shrimp at home. Freeze them, eat them within a year, and they'll taste just like the day you caught them. If you do this as soon as you get off the boat with them, they pop off pretty easy, as you can see. Not a whole lot of mess. We could have sat there a little bit longer today and tried to catch a bigger grade of shrimp, but the tide was fixing to change, and a lot of times when that happens, the shrimp just stop moving and you don't catch any. So some small mediums are better than none. May even use these heads and bury them. Make some fertilizer in the garden. Compost them. A lot of nitrogen in this. Sometimes I'll keep the rest of the heads and the shells and make a stock with that and freeze it in little ice cubes, and then vacuum seal the ice cubes and save them for another day. Whenever I want to make a shrimp stew or gumbo or something, you got that stock ready to go. You just throw a couple ice cubes in whatever you're cooking and instant flavor. So we'll sit here for a little while and do this, and when we come back you'll see that probably be ready to put them in the container, put them in the freezer. So here I changed my technique. I'm just grabbing them by the whiskers, pinching off the tails, letting them fall into my little container here. Only bad thing about little ones is a lot of hand motion, a lot of pinching. When they're big, the number of shrimp is less, so it's a lot less work. But like I said, these are small mediums, just pinching them, letting it fall right in the bucket, and then tossing the heads in that orange bucket. So here's all the heads. Drop them in the bucket. All right, that's it. 25 pounds, took us about 45 minutes. We got us a container full of tails here. And then we got us a bucket full of heads. You lose about 1/3 of the weight with the heads. Unfortunately, the state law requires that your 25 pounds include the heads, and you can't dehead them prior to leaving the place where I caught them. So we got 25 pounds. Good little mix. And we got a few crabs. They small to medium, but we had a full moon last night, so hopefully they'll be full of meat. It's not a bad one there. A couple males, a couple females, all legal. All right. That was a productive day. 25 pounds of shrimp, 12 crabs. That's blue point crabs. Should be mighty fine eating here tonight.